Alright, hello everyone and welcome. It is raining in the pit lane, it's probably raining on track 2. This is the first race of Division 1 for online Formula Racing. Last week we had the pre-season test over in Spain and that determined the choice of cars and teammates for drivers, and today is the first race here in Melbourne. There's going to be a wet quali and a dry race according to Maximus, so thanks for that info there. We're just going to get things set up here to make sure we can see everything. No drivers out on track yet. I'm not sure how long that rain is going to last. I can hear someone's engine firing up. Let's see who it's going to be. And while we are waiting, we're going to quickly go over the driver roster and talk about some of these drivers' stats too. So Mats is the current champion in terms of the pre-season race. He is the one to watch out for. Very, very fast throughout practice in the week. Our previous championship winner, Izat, is not joining us today, and nor is his teammate. So a lot of points are going to be up for grabs, and this is definitely going to add an extra dynamic to the Drivers' Championship towards the latter end of the season. But right now in the roster we've got AJ from Britain and Santi from Argentina riding in the Racing Point. We have got Mats from Norway and Mats from Pakistan riding in the Red Bull. Then we've got Izat and Droftas riding in the Alfa Romeo. Izat's from Singapore and Droftas is from Wales. Then we've got the two British boys in the McLaren, that's Bagpuss and Mary. Then we've got two Dutch drivers in the Ferrari, that's Jan and Castle. And finally taking up the places in the Williams is Leica from Finland and Havoc from the United States of America. But almost all drivers apart from Jan are out on the track right now. It looks like one of the Racing Points is currently in front, so let's just jump to either Santi or AJ, I think it is, see who it is. It looks like it's Santi, so Santi's going to be the first driver on, I think he's on intermediates right now as well, yes he is, and he's going to be the first one to set a hot lap if he can keep it on track. You can see how slippy it is. All of these drivers are suffering from understeer already, even on their warm-up laps. This is going to be very, very interesting. So here he goes, getting his car ready, making sure he turns into the last corner okay. And he's away. You can see already that he's going extremely slow. Can't really get full throttle until his car is completely straight. That is not something you usually see here. Ooh, very, very slow and very scruffy into turn 1. Struggling a lot, I imagine, with the lack of traction here. A lot of rain still pouring down on track. He brakes around the same point as he would normally in the dry, actually, but you can see he's suffering from a lot of understeer there. Stays in third for turn 4, usually a gear 4 for these faster drivers. Can't go full throttle through turn 5, and we've got a yellow flag in sector 1. It looks like one of the McLaren boys is going a bit slow, but right now Santi is on the pace, he is setting the pace, and we've got one of the Ferraris behind him. Might be Castle or might be Jan, I'll check afterwards, but you can see he's locking up all his front tyres there. Looks like he was about to spin because he had the big snap of oversteer, but he has managed to correct it. And he is away going through turn 10 right now. Let's see how fast he can do the infamous turn 11 and 12. Takes just a touch of inside curve. You want to stay away from these curves in the wet, but he still has managed to keep it on. So he is actually doing very well right now. This is great to see. It looks like it should be almost a full wet track. Locking up the two front tyres there. Needs to be very careful. Here he comes round turn 14. Very slow again, but still managing to keep that car stable in one place on the track. It's very surprising to see, actually. I thought it would be a lot more difficult, but this is our highest division and these guys are pros. So let's see what his time is as he crosses the line. Coming up to it now, you can see again he has to wait, and he's hardly used up any of his ERS as well. But he puts in a 1:35 as Castle beats him with a 1:35.0. Santi with a 1:35.4. Let's jump down the pack a bit and see who's going to be next. It looks like it's going to be... Oh, unlucky there, Mary. Looks like he's gone very, very wide into turn 13. But we've got Bagpuss crossing the line with a 1:39.9, followed closely by Havoc with a 1:38.3, and Max with a 1:36.5, all on the intermediate tyres so far. You can see how difficult this is for these drivers. The race is going to be dry, so they are probably still running with a dry setup, which is definitely going to affect how quick they can get through these corners. So yeah, that's also going to be one of the issues that you need to look out for as well. They are running minimal downforce because their cars are going to be racing around a dry track. It looks like we have one of the Force Indias off again. Let's jump to Santi and see. It was Santi just as he was going through turn 6, I believe. Another yellow flag in sector 1. That's one of the Red Bulls. Is that Max? No, it looks like it's his teammate Mats. So we've got Jan and AJ on an outlap. So let's jump to these guys and see whereabouts they are on track. Yellow flag in sector 2 and 3. Right, so here's Jan, and AJ is a bit further down the road. So we're going to stay on board. Oh no, AJ is ahead, sorry. So we're going to stick on board with AJ for now and see how he gets on. So AJ's just coming around the final corner now. And he's starting his hot laps. We're going to ride on board and see how he does. So we've got a car coming out of the pits. That's Mary, but he shouldn't interfere here. Brakes at about 100 meters there. Takes a lot of inside curb. Very, very slow. Still not full throttle. Getting a huge snap of oversteer. Losing traction, but he is away as he's now approaching turn 3. Let's see where he brakes. My bet is around the 100. Eases off at 100. Brakes at about 75. Gets another loss of traction as he's going through turn 3, but corrects it still. Touches the curb slightly as he goes through 4. Car's spinning as he's coming out of 4. Very hesitant through turn 5. Usually a full throttle corner in the drive, but no chance of getting that in the wet here. Dropping it down to only 4th as he goes through turn 6. We've got a yellow flag in sector 1. One of the Ferraris is off. It could be, yes, it is Jan. So Jan has come off, unfortunately, but we're going to jump back down to AJ because he hasn't set a lap yet. Looks like the track is actually getting wetter. It's not getting dry. So that's also something to look out for. So who's at the top at the minute, it's currently Castle. Didn't even attend practice today, and he's currently on top with a 1:35.0. Fantastic work there, Castle. Castle is our resident journalist. He is the one that's sending out the newsletter every week, interviewing drivers throughout the week based on their performance in the races. Thanks a lot for that, Castle. If you want to check out that newsletter, just jump to our Instagram, Online Formula Racing, and you'll be able to see it there, along with all of the results and some promo stuff for our league as well. Anyway, here he comes up to turn 15. Very, very slow. You can see how hesitant he's being on the throttle. You do not want to spin this car. He's almost got another kick of oversteer there. It does look like this track is getting worse. And he crosses the line with a 1:36.2. Absolutely whopping lap. And then Max comes along and pops in a 1:35.0. And Castle does a 1:34.3. So for some of these drivers, they're speeding up. I'm not sure how they are speeding up, but they are. Everyone has done their best on the inters so far, as we see Mats and AJ getting out of the way for Maximus. Is Max on another hot lap? He's not. You can see his ERS is turned all the way down. He hasn't discharged any, or if he has, it's only a millimetre, as you can see there. So I think everyone's going to come into the pits now, change their tyres, see if the track dries out, and then come back in. I'll be right back. So we've got Santi on an out lap right now. Let's just see where he is. He's a bit far away. We've also got Mats who's about to start, so we're going to jump to Mats and see how he gets on. Locks up slightly as he goes through turn 1, skids and drifts almost. That was absolutely beautiful to see. Doesn't take too much outside curb at 2, wants to be careful there. Doing lots and lots of engine braking to maybe try and keep traction as he's going through turn 3 there. Stays in 4th as he goes through turn 4. Will he stay in 5th as he goes through turn 5? He is nowhere near full throttle there. He's actually off the throttle as he's entering. Again, that's usually full throttle 6th gear corner there. But he's doing well so far. Let's see what his sector 2 time is. So he needs to get around, or we can see his sector 2 time. He's coming up to turn 9 now. You can see there was a slight lock up on the tyres there. Here he comes through 10, and we're about to see his sector 2. So he's currently 12, so that would put him at around a 1:37 right now. So he's still not quick enough, but we are going to see him improve again a few more seconds in the final sector. So he might even be on a podium, top 3 starting position here. We've got a yellow flag in sector 1. We've got an incident with one of the Williams. It looks like it's Leaker, because Leaker's on an outlap. He might have just been letting someone pass. But here comes Mats as he comes through turn 15. Staying away from the curbs. He's drifting as he goes. Oh, when he's coming into the pits, he's coming into the pit. Oh, he's missed the pit lane. Oh, he's absolutely missed the pits. He's still got a full charge of ERS, so maybe he's going for another lap now. Let's ride on board and see if he is still going for it. I think he is. How much fuel does he have? He's got 2.9 kilograms of fuel left, so I think he'll be okay. Or is that 2.9 laps? I think 2.9 kilograms of fuel, so we have enough for another lap and then coming in the pits. Yellow flag in sector 2. One of the McLarens has come off. Looks like it could be Bagpuss. Yep, Bagpuss has come off. After... Oh, he's approaching turn 9, actually. That's a strange place to come off. Maybe he caught too much curb. It is very slippy around there, so you do need to be careful. But you can see he's struggling to cool his tyres down now. But we're going to jump back to Mats. Because he is currently on a hot lap, I believe. He's got his ERS set back up to overtake. So you can notice when he's going into a corner, he reduces his ERS, as you can see right now, because you don't want too much power going to those back wheels, because it will cause you to spin. And after his car is straightened up and he's coming out of a corner, you can see there he has plugged it all the way back up to overtake, so his car is now stable. Again, another one of these things that these really professional drivers are having to do whilst they're driving. It just shows you the mental load and the mental capacity that these drivers need in order to, get around a wet track at Melbourne. So he's turning into turn 15. I'm not sure what his time's going to be. He's got another huge kick of oversteer. He's taking it very easy, drifting again as he comes through turn 16. I'm not sure this is going to be a positive lap. He's on a 1:35 so far. Oh, but take that back. He's on a 1:35.8. So he is currently in provisional 4th place as we see Castle and Max on outlaps. Let's just jump up and see where they are. Santi has come off and he's reset to track. So Santi, you're never ever ever supposed to reset the track, so we'll have to make a note of that. We're going to jump back up to Castle, who's about to start his hot lap, riding in the Ferrari, teammate Jan. Here comes Castle. Now, he's not really being hesitant on the throttle at all. He is absolutely going for it. Looks like his teammates in front of him trying to give him a slipstream maybe. Absolute superb brake control and superb throttle control from Castle so far. He's currently in provisional pole with a 1:34. Let's see what his sector 1 time is. He's gone a bit scruffy. He hasn't invalidated his lap though, and he's 1.2 seconds up on his time. So I think that incident as he went through turn 6 there has affected him a bit too much. I'm not sure if he'll be able to pull this back. He's having to be very, very careful not to push the car too wide as he's going through turn 8 there. But he is still going for it. Let's see what his sector 2 time is as he crosses the line. He's 3 seconds off, so he's turned his ERS down as you can see. I think he's preparing his car for another lap here. He does have enough fuel as well. He's got a fair bit of fuel actually, 3.7 kilograms. So, oh no, it must be 3.7. He's got 3.7 laps of fuel back to the pits. On tyre temperature as he's preparing his car. Let's see if he stays out. Yes, he is. He's going to stay out. And he's going to do another hot lap. So let's see how Max was getting on with his hot lap. It looks like he's turned the DRS down as well, so he might be going for another warm-up too. So we'll jump back to Castle and see how he's going on. Again, he's got his ERS turned all the way down. And he's invalidated his lap. You can see that because the entire track's red, so he must have gone too wide into turn 1. Let's switch back to Max, who's come into the pits now. We've got Havoc and Bagpuss on the hot lap, so let's see how they're doing. Whereabouts today? Bagpuss is about to start his hot lap, so let's ride on board with Bagpuss. You can see the rain is just coming down even more now. Oh, he's gone very deep into turn 6. I don't think it's going to be worth him carrying on this because it looks like the track is getting wetter. Max is retired from the session, so he's happy with his second place with a 1:35.0. Looks like Bagpuss is still going for it. Let's have a look what his Sector 2 time is as he goes through the Sector 2 line here and begins his Sector 3. We are looking at we're only at 1 minute, so he's only 9/10 down on his time. He managed to keep that. He needs to make sure he doesn't get a tank slapper. He corrects it well. A lot of counter steering there, but he did manage to keep his car stable in the end. Depending on how messy his original lap was, he may improve. It looks like he's very tidy through the final sector. A lot of engine braking. You can hear the engine absolutely screaming there. But he's staying out, so he is trying to improve on his time. He wants to get that ERS back up. He has done his, switched it straight to overtake. And he crosses the line. He doesn't improve, unfortunately, but he is going again. And he's cut the corner, so he's going to have to give up on this one. Oh, he spun as well. Don't know how he avoided the wall there. That was remarkable. But yeah, he's going to have to come into the pits now. He's not got enough time. So that's his qualifying over. Let's jump up to Havoc, who is on a hot lap right now. Oh, very, very deep into turn 15 as he comes around the final corner. Let's see if he can keep it steady. A little bit of a drift, but early on the throttle again, and he is away. Can he improve upon his time? He was on a 1:38. He's not going to do it, and he's going to cross the line in 9th place. So there's Havoc starting in 9th with a 1:38.3. We've got Santi still out on track. Let's see where he is. He spun. Santi has spun. And he's retired from the session too. So it's just Bagpuss who's left, and it looks like he's probably going to be coming into the pits now as well. But that's qualifying done. So we've got Castle in first, Max in second, Santi in third, Mats in fourth, AJ in fifth, Lika in sixth, Jan in seventh, Mary in eighth, Havoc in ninth, and Bagpuss in 10th.